Oh, you can't find this in the store. Not this, baby. This right here. This is customized. You better get like me.
Okay, so I need some advice. I already crocheted the sleeves of the cardigan I'm making. I started this last year, okay? And I just need to finish it. So the sleeves are done, but I need to make the body. I just don't know which color to do. I don't think I want to do white. I don't know what to do. I don't want red because I want to be able to wear this yearly and not just for Valentine's. Like, what do I do? I'm lost. I'm confused. Help me out.
I went from this. I went from this to this. It's not just about changing, because when God is in your life.
Well, that's my life. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed it, because I know
You're crazy.
You better not mess with my gang, or you'll be messing with Oopie Goopy, General Munchkin Man, Lil Jim Bob, and worst of all, Larry.
My friends are like, crochet is such an old lady thing to do. And I guess it is crochet. It sounds old lady-like.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
What's up, y'all? Today we are going to make a purse. Yes, so we got the blue crushed velvet yarn right here, and I think I'm gonna go medium size with this. Now I need y'all to tell me what other content y'all want to see. Like, just comment down below what should I do. I've been thinking about like going live maybe on like Friday or Saturday sometime, and just like doing an outfit or making a purse or doing my hair even. I don't know. It's just hard to do it with all these dogs. Like, it sounds like a circus all the freaking time. So that's why I can't like talk to y'all while I make these videos, because half the time my puppy is in there screaming like he done lost his little mind. So just comment down below what y'all want to see. And also, if you want to order a purse, go ahead and comment down below and I will hit you up in the messenger. I promise I do reply back. Now, here's the finished product. This is a medium-sized purse, and I just wove a little ribbon through the strap, you know, just to give it a little pop of color. And yes, you can change these out to match any outfit. Thanks, guys.
For those of you who don't know, I was hospitalized on December 9th for preeclampsia and extremely high blood pressure. My baby wasn't doing very well. And I was told I was supposed to stay through Christmas. Baby ended up coming early, which was fun. Whole fun. She came at 32 weeks. Anyways, while I was hospitalized and bored out of my mind, I decided let's pick a project and do it. And I decided to crochet a blanket. Yeah. Okay, so progress. I've made 2 rows of 6. And I'm loving what's happening, but it's a bigger commitment than I thought. And I thought I would finish it while I was in the hospital. Turns out I'm home. But this is row 1. Loving what's happening. And this is row 2. I mean, I'm obsessed. I like love the vibe, but this is like, this is gonna take me a minute.
I'm going to show you step by step how to crochet a headband. You're going to start with a slip knot and then chain 9. For row 1, you're going to slip stitch in the second chain from your hook. To slip stitch, you're going to insert your hook into your chain, yarn over, and then pull through 2 loops. Continue slip stitching in every one of your foundation chains. When you get to the end of your row, it should look like this. You're going to chain 1 and then turn your work. Keep in mind this chain 1 never counts as a stitch. For the rest of the headband, we're going to be using slip stitch back loop only. It's the same slip stitch where you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, but as you can see in the video, I'm only going through the back loop of each stitch. From here, the pattern just repeats. Every row in this headband is slip stitch back loop only in every stitch in your row, chain 1, skip that turning chain, and then slip stitch back loop only in every stitch in the row. Once you crochet the length that you want, you're going to chain 1 and fold your work so your working yarn is on top. To attach the headband, you're going to insert your hook in both the back loop of the stitch and the corresponding foundation chain, yarn over, and pull through all of those loops. If you want to save the written pattern for later, need info about the hook size or the type of yarn that I used, make sure to check out the caption of this video. Once you attach your headband, fasten off your yarn, and make sure you weave in your yarn tail so that your headband doesn't fall apart. If you recreate this headband, make sure to send me a picture because I'd love to see. Happy crocheting!
Now, before I discuss all that, I want to welcome all of the new faces that are here. I know most of you are probably coming from a certain Toronto hairstylist's TikTok to see my haircut. Don't judge it by this; it's in Desperate. You never refresh. You can go check out a couple of my other TikToks. But I hope you stay for the knitting and crochet content. That's what I enjoy doing. So thank you to everybody that's left really kind and sweet comments. I've been trying to respond to as many as I can, but just letting you know that I see everything. I see them all. So thank you. I've been enjoying reading them. But without further ado, let's get into my 2025 knitting and crochet plans. Now, first up, we have sweater number 15 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. This is kind of cheating because I did start this like 2 months ago, but I'm still working on it. So technically, I will be finishing it in 2025. Fingers crossed. I also want to make a Sophie scarf. I had bought the pattern sometime earlier in the year, and I just couldn't keep up with the counting. I like to watch TV and YouTube videos while I knit, so it was so hard to keep up with whatever row I was on, but I got one of those charm row counter things, and I really think that will be the breakthrough. That's going to allow me to knit a million Sophie scarves. Also, I really want to make a Moby sweater, or just honestly any cabled sweater. I want to make something with cables. I had bought the yarn to do this last year. It's still sitting in my room. So hopefully I can get to this, or again, any sort of cabled sweater. They just look so delicious. Like I just want to make one. Now on to crochet. I really want to make a 6-star blanket, or really any crochet blanket. I know this one has garnered a bit of controversy on TikTok, but I definitely want to try my hand at it. Also, like, I see all the sort of yarn combos that people are doing, and it's really pretty. So I think I'm going to give into the peer pressure on this one and attempt a 6-star blanket at some point. Also, whatever this is, came across Blair's TikTok, and I was obsessed. I'm like, this is the perfect thing for me. I'm not a huge hat person, and I think this will be the perfect way to protect my ears and keep warm without messing up the hair. But yes, those are my 2025 knitting and crochet plans. I'll probably be making things that are not on this list, really whatever piques my interest at that point.
My big 2025 fiber arts goal is to use up the yarn I already have before I buy any more. So let's go through my Pinterest board. I'm going to show you the projects I'm planning on doing this year and the yarn I'm going to use for them. Probably for my first project of the year, I want to make a scooty like this, but with a linen stitch granny square. It's a bit of a tighter stitch, so I think it'll make it warmer and more functional for New York City winters. This one here is Malabrigo worsted, and this is gifted, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's very similar both in weight and texture. So I'm hoping this will be enough, but if not, I have a little bit of Malabrigo worsted left over from that sweater. It would make a good accent color in case I run out of yarn before I finish. For my next project, I want to do a chunky knit sweater vest. I don't know if I'll use this exact pattern or something similar, but I like the high collar and the kind of cropped fit. For that one, I want to use this Jacob wool that I got from the Sheep and Wool Festival in Rhinebeck this year. This is kind of a silly one, but I have some yarn that I feel like will be perfect for it. I have this velvety yarn for the head, these fun textured yarns, which were the main inspiration, and some scraps of a chunky green, which I think will pull it all together. It's definitely not an exact color match, and maybe I'll hold the bluer shades together with another strand of green, but I think it'll get the job done, and it'll be so fuzzy and funny. And it will also go well with all my little fruit earrings. I just realized I kind of lied about my first project because I have been working on these socks since October. If I don't finish them first, I might never get them done. So I will finish these socks, and then I will do the rest of my projects. And then with the leftover yarn, I want to make some matching fingerless gloves. I don't think mine will be quite as long as this, but also if I run out of yarn, I think I could make the cuffs a little bit longer with this sock yarn, which goes nicely with all of the colors. This is another silly one, but I think it would be fun to scale this up and use it as a pillow for my bed or my couch. I don't have an exact plan for what yarn I'm going to use, but especially if I do each of the little sections in a different color, this would work really well as a nice scrap buster project. So maybe come September, you'll see me making this. Lastly, another goal of mine for the year is to learn how to do knit color work, and I think this sweater is so gorgeous, and I could use yarn I already have for all of the different flowers, and then reward myself for using up my stash yarn and learning so much this year by getting a nice new yarn for the background color for the rest of the sweater. Let me know in the comments what you're excited to make this year, if there are any patterns you think I should check out, if you're trying to do a no-buy yarn year, let me know. You can follow me right about here if you're interested in seeing how all of these projects turn out, but in the meantime, happy crafting. Bye!
Okay, so I'm currently at Joann's doing a curbside pickup for some yarn that I'm gonna make for a sweater for Olive. So I got 3 different color options. I'm gonna decide which one I'm gonna do when I get home. I got this one, which is super pretty, and this one, which is definitely giving Easter vibes. Also, this is the pattern I am following. It's so cute. Okay, so I started the gauge swatch. I had full intentions of actually doing the gauge swatch, but I don't want to. So I did this much of the gauge swatch, and now we're getting started. So I'm starting with the ribbed neckline. Also, I ended up going with this color. It is the Ice Cream yarn by Lion Brand in the shade Perfect. Here's the collar, and I think it's looking pretty good. It's got this really pretty ombre going on. So now I'm going to sew the sides together. Okay, here is my progress so far. I've got my armholes on, and I'm loving it so far. I haven't tried it on her with the armholes. I'm just praying that it's gonna work, but I'm loving the color. It is so cute. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Here is the completed sweater. I love how it turned out. I think it's so cute. I went ahead and left the ribbing off the end because Olive isn't that long, so this ended up being the perfect length for her. Okay, here is the sweater on. I think it is so cute. I love how it turned out. I love the colors, and I think it fits really well. Oh, Olive. She's tired and she wants to burrow in the blanket, but I think it turned out super cute.
Are you ready to start your scrappy sweater? Hopefully you've already gathered your supplies. What you're going to start with is your 2 yarn colors. Hopefully you are actually using scraps, but like I said before, I don't have any more scraps, so I'll be using yarn that I bought specifically for this project. And I'm going to be taking off my little papers. I don't normally do that, but right now I can't seem to find the center pole. You're going to find the 2 ends that you're going to be working with, and you're going to line them up like so. And you're basically going to treat these 2 yarns that are together as if they are one yarn for the entirety of the project. When I was working on this one, every single time one yarn would run out, I wouldn't necessarily change both yarns. So when I would get to the end of one of my yarns, I would quite literally tie in a new yarn onto the end of this one. And so I had lots and lots of ends that I had to sew in when I got to the end, but that is what worked best for me. I really liked how it looked. I knew that that was kind of the vibe I was going for. You could also, though, every single time you got to the end of a color, end both of your colors and change both of them. That's absolutely a vibe, but I wanted like crossover between my colors and to have like maybe one color going through a large section and then multiple colors kind of combining with it. What you're gonna do now is you're going to be chaining. This sweater is worked from the bottom up, and we're going to be working in rounds all the way around until you get to the armpits. So I'm going to do a foundation chain for the bottom, and I'm going to make it big enough that I am comfortably in it. Like you can see, this one is oversized. Once you have a straight chain that fits comfortably all the way around your body, you're going to make sure that you don't have it twisted in any way. So the tops of the chains are all facing the same direction. And then you're going to find that very first chain and you're going to slip stitch into it. Now, I personally, if it's a half double or lower, don't bother chaining to start. I have just learned that it doesn't matter to me. So I'm going to grab my two tails here and I'm gonna crochet them into the row. You can sew them in later if you want, it's up to you. But I am going to half double crochet to start. You can chain 2, chain 1, whatever you're comfortable with. But to start my row, now, the most important thing when doing this is to make sure that you don't decrease or increase. I have been known to increase when I am half double crocheting. So to help with that, I do sometimes do chain markers on this first one just so that I can find it and make sure that I'm not adding a stitch. So what I'm going to do is I am going to half double crochet into every single chain stitch one time, and then when I get back to the end and there's no more stitches left, I will slip stitch into that marker, and then I will half double back into that where I slip stitched to start the next row. And then I'm going to continue doing that all the way around, building up and up and up and up until it's tall enough to reach to where my armpits are. One thing I should mention really quickly, I just hit round 2, is it is up to your personal preference if every single row you switch directions or if you continue to go the same direction. When I'm working in the round like this, tend to like to go the same direction so that I always have a right side and a wrong side, and I can put my right side on the outside. I also like to have kind of this flow. I feel like it just fits better where it's like up and over, and I did it on this one where you can see like it just goes up and then over, where versus like if you go and change directions, it would be up and then back. My personal taste, I don't like how that looks. Many hours later, I have finished underneath the armpit area for this sweater. But what I love about this size hook is you can realistically do this all in one day. I definitely could have done a lot more than just this in one day, but I took many breaks from this. I am going to stop here in this tutorial, and in the next tutorial, I will teach you all how to split for your sleeves. One trick I will give you all for if you're trying to measure this but you don't want to necessarily measure it against your body constantly is I like to keep I'll have to turn you around, sweater that I like this fit of on me laid out on a table, and I just have to keep my cat off of it, and then I will just come and lay the piece I'm working on over top of it to see how it measures up. So you can see that's pretty dang close across, and the width, you can see it's hitting the armpits right there. That's just a nice little trick in case you want another way to measure things besides just holding it up to your body. But I'll be back tomorrow with the next part.